and gentlemen, and welcome back to our third segment of our ship showcase. And this one is going to be about the Anvil Carrack. So as you can see here, you saw the other ships in this hangar, and notice this one is quite massive. It is, I think, the largest of the three big ships that I have access to currently. And it is a pretty nice looking vessel. This is not intended to be a combat ship, but it is certainly capable of defending itself quite effectively. My only gripe about this vessel, if I were to have one, would be the way you get in. The only way in is through this front ramp here, which is annoying if you're in a hurry or if you're trying to prevent like a griefer player from potentially following you into the ship, because you have to wait for the ramp to deploy. And then you have to run up the ramp and go to the button over here to raise it. And it doesn't raise quickly. Like, it takes a while. And this is the only way in or out of the ship. There are other means of getting out, but this is the only one on the ground. Alright, so we're going to start off with this interior room here. This is the garage. It's designed for holding ground vehicles as well as being the entrance to the ship. Little side note, you can actually fit the F8 Pisces, C8 Pisces Expedition, the little basically shuttle pod style ship that goes in the top hangar. You can actually fit that in here and still have room for a small vehicle. So we are going to take the elevator up to the bridge just to get this enough space. Don't want to run out of the timer. The interesting thing, this bridge has two different decks. It's an upper and a lower bridge, and it can be controlled from either one. We're going to go to the upper main bridge right now, and just because I have a station that we can quickly get into and out of.
Anvil Aerospace, all systems online.
You are clear to launch.
Nice little view of the hangar door opening, as well as a peek exterior of the ship.
Landing gear raised.
Thank you, and please visit again.
Yeah, we're going to go to the other way because we have a bunch of lighting over here. Alright, so let's give you a nice view of the vessel. There's your upper and lower bridge. The interesting thing is, even though that bridge looks extremely exposed, there is actually going to be blast shields that you can lower to enclose most of it. So there's your main loading ramp. Those are the cargo containers. It's actually going to be a modular section, so those 3 containers can be replaced with other features. I believe that when you replace it with other sections, it may replace all of them, or it may only partially replace, and you'll still have some cargo capacity. I was really hoping for a hangar module, but that may not be the case. But they were saying there may be a garage module, and as we learned from some of the other ships, you can sometimes fit a ship in the garage. So we shall see how that works. And I know it's kind of dark, so I will roll the ship, but you can see the lower turret kind of silhouette down there in the shadow, the upper turret. And like the Hammerhead, there is 2 turrets on the side, and like the Hammerhead, they do extend and deploy outward for a very generous field of fire. And here we have a more and better illuminated look at the lower section of the ship. As you can see, those are the thrusters that raise the ship, and you do have some on top. And there are the upper thrusters. So as you can see, it is a very, very sleek, cool looking vessel. So why don't we go check out the interior of this massive ship? And I say massive with a grain of salt, because there are much, much larger ships to come at some point. Alright, so here we have the upper bridge. This is the commander's station, and the vessel can be piloted from here. This is an operations station. This actually controls the remote upper turret. And then you have another operations station here. We're going to go into the main hallway. The escape pods that you see here are not currently functioning, but they will be. So you'll have a quick means of escape for the crew. As you can see, there's nothing in there currently, but they will eventually be added. Alright, so over here we have some kind of workshop. This is, I believe, uncompleted space, but you will be able to add stuff to your ship. I believe this is supposed to be some kind of repair station, maybe for like ground equipment or something. This is the drone control bay, and this is pretty interesting. Drones are not currently functional in the game yet, but there are drone stations, and you have 2 drone controllers. The drones are going to serve numerous functions. Different types of drones you can get are repair drones, and I believe survey, like exploration drones and stuff, so almost like probe droids from Star Wars. So this is an exploration ship, just so everyone is aware. It's what it's classified as. And you can like go to a planet and land or into the atmosphere and deploy the exploration droids remotely. But there will be different types of drones that can be used. Alright, so this elevator will access all 3 of the main decks. There is actually a smaller 4th deck that you will see soon. And this is the main hangar. And, you know, I say main hangar, it's reasonably decent size, but it really was designed for a specific type of ship. It was a companion vessel that came with this ship. It's kind of reminiscent of a shuttle pod from Star Trek. But this is also, just so you know, the only spot this door can be opened and closed from. So that is a little frustrating, but, well, that's not true. You can also open the entire exterior of the bridge. Hopefully they'll be adding a feature to open individual exterior doors from the pilot seat, but we shall see how that goes. See, pretty neat. So I'm going to leave that open because I'm actually going to demo the C8 Pisces in this video, docking and landing in that bay. Alright, so we come down the side corridor here. There's obviously a mirroring one going that way. And it meets up here. So back here we have the rear turret access. So this goes to the side turrets that you saw on the exterior of the ship earlier. And yes, the turret does seal behind you, because as I said, it extends outwards. So it's the door and the turret door.
Anvil Aerospace. All systems online.
Alright, so now you see the turret deployed. Same thing, incredibly generous field of fire. All the way up, all the way down, all the way front, all the way back. And it actually even goes a little further back, so you can get a little overlap coverage. The other thing to note, there are some significant blind zones to the ship, to the upper rear. There's really no turret coverage. Now, we're going to take a look at the engineering section. So you have your little monitoring bay to the engine room, also a cool thing. Not really sure what the specific purpose of that is, but like you think it's like maybe the gravity generator or something along those lines, but pretty neat little bit of detail in there. And our main thrusters. An interesting note, there is an upper and lower engineering section. You can access it via the ladder here or the elevator here. But all in all, pretty cool. Oh, if anyone were to classify the ship, this is probably the closest thing currently in-game to a Star Trek style of vessel. It has a little bit of that vibe to it. The other turret, so your port turret is here. And we're back to the view of the hangar area. And we have an elevator here. So this is actually going to be the elevator that gives you access to the 4th deck. So we're going to show you that. This is a pretty, as you can see, big elevator. So it's actually the largest elevator on the ship. Alright, so this is the 5th deck. It's called the cartography deck, and the reason why, obviously, this is important for an exploration vessel. It has a big star navigation map in it, and you can currently use it. Sort of. It doesn't actually serve any function yet, as you can see, but you can go up and get on it. They will be, obviously, these are all extra mechanics that will be added over time. You do have another escape pod up here. These are actually armor or spacesuit lockers, because this is also an EVA area. These two airlock, this is essentially an airlock here. These doors lead to the exterior of the ship. And there's a nice little view down into the hangar bay. And just like on the other side, we also have more EVA lockers and another escape pod. Okay, so this is the deck we were just on, where the upper bridges and the upper engineering section, turret access, and the hangar access. We were going to go down to the habitation deck now. Alright, so this is actually the back of a machine that is installed in the medical bay. Yes, the ship has a med bay. And a nice little, somewhat fogged out view of it there. A little iced glass. Alright, so this is the medical bay. So it's almost like it's got a little decontamination area here. And you enter, and it's got a couple medical beds. These are actually functional beds. You can actually use them to log out and store your character data. And this is an actual unique area here. You can use this panel and this bed here to store your character respawn, which is actually a very important feature because if you're in a frontier area where there may not be a space station or base, if you die, you will respawn at the last place that your character was saved at. This allows you to save your location, your respawn location on your ship. Very important. And there's not a lot of ships that have that. Only the medical ships, as I know of so far, are the only other vessels that have that. And I believe there's only one other medical ship in the game, the Cutlass Red, that's currently flyable. Medical storage area, kind of like a pharmacy of sorts, medical supplies. A lot of this stuff will be functional come live. A lot of this stuff will actually have purpose, and this is supposed to be the doctor's office. Kind of a Spartan doctor's office, but you know. But yeah, pretty cool if I do say so. I mean, obviously you'll probably notice me spending a little more time on this video than I did on the other ones. Part of that is due to the fact it is a larger ship, but also because I really, really enjoy this vessel. I think it's a really neat ship. Alright, so let's go take a look at the crew facilities. Yes, a pool table. And here's a interesting fact. This pool table will apparently be functional in the finer iteration of the game in the ship. So you will actually be able to play pool in your ship. Kind of cool. And this is the crew dormitories. Storage lockers. Actually, you will be able to store stuff in these lockers. And you've got sleeping for five crew members on this ship, plus the captain. So the ship is officially listed as a 6-crew vessel. Obviously, if you wanted to have every station manned while in operation, you would need more, but can accommodate 5 sleepers here, plus an additional 2 or 3 in the med bay, so you could actually operate with a crew of 7 or 8 on this ship. Maybe 9 with the captain. Alright, so the showers are here. And yes, the crew does get a bathroom. As far as like toilets. And they are here. I mean, supposedly showers and toilets are going to have some kind of function in the game at some point, but I'm not sure what that's precisely going to entail. And your crew lounge / briefing room. Have a little meeting in here or whatever. Alright, to the captain's cabin. Now, as in the Hammerhead video you saw previously, the captain's cabin is about the same size, more or less. Obviously a little more upscale. We have a chess set, some alcoholic beverages, books, and a picture of a futuristic New York, which is, some believe, a potential Easter egg to the fact that New York City will actually be one of the landing places on Earth when the Sol system is added to the game. And the captain's bunk, and a nice little feature, that little detail that some of you don't notice, a captain's duffel bag with a teddy bear, which kind of makes you question if the captain is a little insecure. And obviously the captain's bathroom. Alright, and we find ourselves on the lower bridge. Alright, so this is the main pilot command station, but the ship can be flown from any one of these. Pretty interesting. This one is obviously the most important one, though. This one has the most display screens, so if you're going to actually pilot the ship, this is probably the best one to operate from. And as you can see, you have a pretty commanding view of space here from this window. And yes, you can kind of like walk up into the bridge window and look around. It is pretty amazing. Not sure what the function of this is going to be because it's listed as avionics, but open it and it pops up, and it's about the perfect size to put some storage boxes in, one on top of the other, a couple of them, and those transport boxes for like transport missions, they can sometimes contain like illegal material like drugs and stuff, so some have wondered if it's a secret smuggling compartment. Not really sure about that. Same thing with this, classified as a radar. It is actually possible because the ship will have a radar and supposedly some advanced computers and stuff like that. These are all things that are in the game currently, but will be when those systems are added to the game. So that is possibly what those are for. So you have a elevator that's just a dedicated bridge elevator to go from the upper to lower bridge. You can see those are the only two stops. I'll take you back to the upper, but we are going to go head down to the final deck, the sub-level. So we have tested it. You can fit 3 people on this elevator. As long as 2 people stand off to the sides, 1 person stands right here, and you can fit 3 on it. I would not try more. Okay, so this is going to be the dock airlock. As you can see, more EVA suit. Storage. And you can open the inner and outer doors. And just so for those of you who don't know, I am wearing a helmet, so a self-contained suit, so this is why I can open external doors to space and not die. Also, I'm not sure if ship's internal oxygen is actually in the game yet, so we're not going to test that theory right now. Okay, this is the garage that you've already seen. These are the cargo pods. You can take an elevator down to them. So the ship holds a pretty significant amount of cargo space. This is also another good early trading ship. The reason why I use my Caterpillar over this is because the Caterpillar has more capacity by like 100 cubic units of storage, and it's also smaller, so it's easier to land in some of the hangar bays and some of the planets. This one is sometimes literally just like you're almost scraping paint fitting into the entrance. So. And it has 3 of these bays. Currently the cargo doors I do not believe open, but we were going to test that from the bridge because like the Caterpillar, it is possible that you might be able to fit additional fighters in these bays, but I do not think those currently open. But we're going to try it. Okay, and we got more back here aren't specifically attached to an airlock, so these would probably be more combat suits like armor, especially considering the fact you have a weapons locker on either side. Now, once again, obviously nothing in them. That will serve a purpose later, where you will actually be able to stock your ship with supplies. And this is the aft lower turrets, which you saw outside the ship. And this is that big elevator access. This is the, oh, actually no. Well, that is the big elevator access. This is going to take us back to the front of the ship. Which we don't want to go to, because I don't want to open that like ramp. We're going to go to the elevator. I really, really do love this ship. It's pretty nice. So, you may notice that little spark in the corridor there. Yeah, that is not actually supposed to be doing that. Generally, when you see sparks and, you know, fire and stuff like that, it's usually a sign that your ship has been damaged, but this is there all the time. Probably something they're going to fix at some point, something that was overlooked. Alright, and so what I'm going to do is we're going to cut away for a moment because I'm going to go get the other companion ship for this vessel so you can actually see that and see it docking with this ship. So this is kind of a 2-for-1 ship walkthrough at the moment. Alright, we're going to go get that ship and you can see how that works. Okay folks, yeah, no, I did not get beamed back to the station. Unfortunately, the ship does not have that functionality, but this is the companion craft for the Anvil Carrack, the C8X Pisces. It's got 4 guns and a pair of small missiles. Not a super powerful craft, but does have the capability of providing itself some defense. So, just like a shuttlecraft from Star Trek, this is the entrance. It has some cargo capacity, obviously, and seats for up to 2 additional passengers.
Anvil Aerospace. All systems online.
So as you can see, very similar livery to the Carrack, similar paint scheme and everything. And one of the things I like about the Anvil craft is a lot of them have the unique red cockpit canopy, which I think looks pretty cool. Alright, so we're going to go dock with the Carrack.
Forward proximity alert.
Alright, so a lot of docking, you're going to have to cheat and go into third person for now. There is going to be docking assistance, either via the multifunction displays or some kind of augmented reality system in your helmet or the ship itself, but currently there is no docking assistance, so docking from first person is pretty hard. so you don't want to forget to lower your landing gear because it also loads in the wing stubs.
Landing
Which
gear.
fit better. Like that, we're down.
Weapons offline.
The ship was actually designed as a companion vessel to the ship. It was designed along with it specifically to fit in this bay. There are a few other ships that get to fit in this bay. One of them, the Drake Buccaneer, is actually a fighter craft. I have one. You will be seeing that in a later episode. It can be docked with this vessel, but you do have to do so with the landing gear raised. So as long as you're careful, you won't cause any damage. Because in order for it to jump to quantum, this door has to be closed. It cannot be opened. Just making sure the external door shut. As I said earlier, this craft can also fit in the front bay. So if you move it off, you'll have to obviously fly it in head first and back it out, but you can put it off to the one side and you can dock the Buccaneer and pin here, so you can actually have a transport shuttle and a fighter craft for defense in this vessel at the same time. Pretty neat. So we're going to go down to the main pilot station currently, because I don't think this one has the functionality I'm going to want.
Flare online. Okay.
Yep, does not have the functionality I want. I do love the rotating seats, the suspended pilot chairs for some of the big ships in this game.
Anvil Aerospace. All systems online.
Okay, that was what I was looking for, the open exterior option. The main pilot's control station always has that functionality, so I'm going to open all the exterior doors at once just so you can see that. So, as I suspected, the cargo modules do not open. It's a shame, because if they did, like the Caterpillar, you might have been able to sneak some stuff in there. But as you can see, the front bay and the hangar bay are open. The Pisces docked in there. And just a side note, it did not open the airlock, so that is interesting. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, that is the Anvil Carrack. I hope you enjoy this ship as much as I do, as it is a really fun vessel. Also, a side note, even though it is classified as an exploration vessel, and it does have, it has 2 less turrets than the Hammerhead Corvette. Also, you'll notice the turrets are not quad turrets, so it does have less firepower, but it is capable of defending itself. It's very strong shields, because it's designed to operate in unexplored areas of space on its own. So it is a pretty tough ship, and with a full crew can be used in some instances of combat, especially if you have that Buccaneer up here to help defend it in a battle. I hope you enjoyed the ship, and I will catch you in the next video.